I'm seeing a lot of people here do something very interesting on their path of healing. It goes, I'm taking time to myself. This is my time. This is my solitude because I've been hurt and everyone sucks. I understand this. I myself am in solitude. But here's the thing, it is too easy to blame everyone else for hurting you and just keeping it there. I'm just seeing that everywhere. This person hurt me, that person hurt me, this person deceived me, this person betrayed me, so I am backing away. I'm backing away from socializing, I'm backing away from friends, I'm backing away from I have not backed away, even though I am in solitude. I have friends that I still hang out with. These last few years have proven who is my true friend. And it's true what they say, during the pandemic, during a time of crisis, your friends truly reveal who they are, who's not your friend. So, oh my God, I have known betrayal. I have known abuse. I have known gaslighting. I have known, I have shaken my head in disbelief and gone, who is this person? This person is supposed to be my dearest friend and they betray me. I've I've gone numb. But in this time of solitude, I must take responsibility to the part I played, and people get very sensitive about that. They get very defensive about that. Now, I was hurt, terribly hurt. I was abused by gaslighting. I was let down and betrayed by people who I thought were loyal to me, and all of that hurt. And I have the right to be hurt, and that's valid. But I said this in another reel, and I'm going to say it again. I must take responsibility for the red flags that I chose to ignore because I know that I am notorious for that. Okay, I come from healing very deep insecurity where trying to prove that I'm a good person or trying to prove that I'm a good friend or a good lover became so important that at times it blinded me to other people's fallacies and weaknesses and character flaws. I must take responsibility for the red flags that I ignored. I must take responsibility for things that people said that I know were hurtful and disrespectful and toxic, but I ignored them and says I must be compassionate and practice forgiveness. I must take responsibility for not communicating my feelings in certain situations because it felt just too burdensome to deal with. I must take responsibility that there are times in which I have taken red flags and tried to magically turn them into green flags. I am guilty of this. All right. I must heal more of that insecurity that chose not to speak up because I was afraid of confrontation or I was afraid of rejection. I must heal my fear of being abandoned or my fear of being rejected. And because of that, I'm motivated to overlook things. These are all the things in which I am taking into consideration during my time of solitude. Okay, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Okay, and you have the right to be angry. Have fun being angry. Have fun being hurt. Do as many reels as you want and tell them what a bunch of nasty, loser, hurtful douchebags they are. Have at it. But at the end of the day, you can't grow and move forward if you're not taking accountability for the part that you played. And I think this is the one thing that people get caught up in. Like, other people's behavior is just so horrible and toxic, but my behavior wasn't that bad. Sometimes that's not the point. Sometimes it's those subtle little paper cuts that also get in the way. All right? Those subtle choices that you're making, the subtle choice not to see things, the subtle choices not to speak up. All right? Don't let other people's far worse behavior Don't use it as an excuse to distract yourself from your much less worse behavior. Oh, it's much less worse. That doesn't count. Yes, it does count. We are accountable, or we cannot heal, we cannot grow, and we cannot find better people who are worthy of our hearts.